probably just put this one up. Hopefully it doesn't fall off the wall. Hopefully that stays there.
So you work on these you work on multiple portraits and pieces at a time, it seems like.
Yeah, so I mean, I would do things in batches. So literally it'll be like a week. I may not have like any work, and then the following week I might have like 6 works kind of just there, because I'm always I have like so many different steps as well, from the paper making to like the image transfers to the painting, drawing, sculptures. It's like I'm always kind of like doing a little bit of everything at once. And then especially on things like where I need to wait for things to dry or whatever, like I would draw and paint while I'm waiting for the paper to dry, or yeah. So I'm always kind of like, I'm basically always working like this, like just all over the place. Yeah, so these were some of the first works that I made after I did my residency in Victoria. And yeah, so the series was called This Must Be the Place, and it was basically like these figures kind of looking up in the sky. Like I've shown you a couple of these before. Like I did other ones, like when I did these, probably August 2023-ish, September. So I did like 4 or 5 then, and then the following year I did like another 3, and then this year I made another 2. So I have a lot of series they're kind of like ongoing series as well. And I like to like work on different series and then kind of come back, you know, to a previous series with kind of like new knowledge, like new materials, new drawings and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I think like this work here was how I kind of like figured out the aesthetic. And then I was saying before, like with these, I almost see these works as like almost like the parent work, because from there I kind of like pulled a lot of different ideas from them, which included like the my All Teeth series that focuses just like on the mouth here, and that turned into a different series. My Look at Us Together series, which is like the abstracted version of this, of bringing all these different body parts and things together. And then, yeah, this other series I have that kind of focuses more on the sculptural aspects of the works and thinking about sculptures, drawing, so.
Well, you said something interesting I don't want to skip over, is you said you had a residency in Vancouver. Victoria, sorry.
Yeah.
So when was that? And just maybe give us a little bit of detail on that.
Yeah, so the residency in Victoria, I got that in June 2023. So it was called the Bonnie McCrone Cree residency. So it was, it's a small residency space that basically you can just make and work on whatever you wanted to. And during that time, I decided that I realized I really wanted to think about my image making practice, which is this kind of like amalgamation of all of these different things together, like drawing, sculpture, photography, like I bring in like projections and painting, digital and physical painting together. And I wanted to kind of think about that through paper making, and thinking about the paper as like an amalgamation of all of these different things coming together. But obviously, like I didn't have a space to kind of do any of that stuff, and you need to have a space to make a mess. So it was like, I got this residency and I was supposed to have a show. I mean, I did have a show in September and I was supposed to be making work for the show. But I decided to just spend my whole month there just basically teaching myself how to make paper from scraps of old works, and yeah, just like reimagining old works and how they can live as something else. And then that kind of blossomed into like a whole practice. Yeah, and I spent...
these works are, you create the canvas basically? Like, is that a simplified term for it?
Yeah, I could show you some of the papers and stuff. So, so basically, like these here would be some of the raw kind of papers. So for some examples here, these ones are a little bit rougher than the first set that I made. But essentially, I thought about like how can things kind of like exist in a different way, and I was thinking about like all of my stuff is based around hip hop methodologies and sampling and how things can be reconfigured and broken down and reimagined into something else. So I thought about that literally as like a making practice and what would that actually look like. So so a lot of these papers were made from like old works, receipts, letters. And then over time, they started to get like much messier because they started to include a lot of the sculptural aspects of the work. So you could find like some of the paper and stuff and the tape and paint and stuff from other works inside of it. So this is like an example of just one that I was thinking about as I don't know, possibly doing like sculptural aspects of it. Some kind of like thicker ones here that are very thick. But then I also have like lint and fabric and tape and pencil sharpenings, and it's kind of like bringing all of those things together.
Yeah,
and
it's gumbo.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so you can see like this one is a little bit cleaner, you know. And then over time, yeah, like I really like these ones as well. These have a lot of
texture.
Yeah, texture and stuff. So when I first started, like a lot of them look like this, but then over time, especially as I make them and break them back down and make them and break them back down, they kind of got rougher and rougher and more textured. And I kind of leaned into that throughout the making process. And then from there, I go into, I essentially paint and prime them. So this is like more of like the ready set of papers here. Some smaller ones. Yeah. So these would be some of like the next stage, and then I would kind of do a lot of painting and stuff on top of this to get it. Yeah, so I can work on top of them. So they tend to be like, when you feel them like a lot thicker, they almost feel like very like leathery as well. But yeah, so these were a bunch of papers that I made that I'm going to start making some future works in the next like couple months. So I got those ready. So that's basically like one stage, and then I would kind of go on to the image making practices.
Yeah, so you were kind of just describing some of these. Can I get that one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Put some of these up.